Mindful Life Practice community.
So we'll do a little bit of back bending and then a little bit of twisting. So let's start our practice in a seated shape. You can either sit flat on your mat or up on a cushion. Rest your palms on your lap and then just start to breathe in and out. Beginning to tune into the here and now. Beginning to practice presence. And I invite you to just place your palms on your heart. Breathe into your heart. And set an intention, whether it is to practice presence or to be here now, it's up to you. Taking one more breath with your hands on your heart. And then we're gonna start to warm up our spine. So let's take our arms all the way up towards the sky. And then land your right palm and then just stretch your left arm over to the right. And then inhale your arms all the way up. And then land your left palm, stretch your right arm over to the left. And let's breathe our arms all the way up. And then we'll rotate into a twist. Landing the right palm. Having the right fingertips behind you. And then take your arms all the way up. And then rotate the opposite way. Lifting your arms all the way up, big stretch. Bringing your palms into your heart center. And then we're gonna begin by just stretching through the neck. My favorite. So drop your right earlobe down towards your right shoulder. Just creating space through the left traps. And then you might leave your right palm as a little anchor and then just breathe into this muscle. Maybe playing with the length of your reach or the flick of your wrist. So this part of the body, the traps muscle, it is where I've read that women carry a lot of tension. And I know that's the case for me. As you breathe here, just let it go. And then allow your head to come all the way up through center and just feel the difference left side compared to right. And then go the opposite way. So left earlobe drops towards left shoulder. Take your left palm up, stretching through the right side of the neck. Stay here for maybe 5 or so more breaths. And then we'll just lift the head all the way back up through center. Come forward onto the hands and knees. So the palms are anchored, the knees are anchored, and we're just going to move through a few cat-cows, just waking up the spine. Just making a few more rounds. And then coming all the way into neutral. And then let's walk our bodies forward. So we're going to come onto our forearms. We're going to come into a Sphinx pose. And there's a few different ways that you can do your Sphinx. You can be on the elbows, or you can maybe bring a little cushion underneath your rib cage. We're going to be here for 3 minutes total. And so halfway through, I'm going to invite you to move a little deeper. And I'm going to get my favorite poetry book, and we're going to do a little bit of poetry and yin because it feels like the right thing to do. So this is one of my favorite poets, which is Rupi Kaur. And she has some really nice feminist poetry. My issue with what they consider beautiful is their concept of beauty. Centers around excluding people. I find hair beautiful when a woman wears it, like a garden on her skin. That is the definition of beauty. Big hooked noses pointing upward towards the sky, like they're rising to the occasion. Skin the color of earth. My ancestors planted crops on to feed a lineage of women with. Thighs thick as tree trunks. Eyes like almonds. Deeply hooded with conviction. The rivers of Punjab flow through my bloodstream, so don't tell me my women aren't as beautiful as the ones in your country. Let's take another breath. I think I kept you here longer than 3 minutes. If you want to take your hands a little wider and then just push up and lift your elbows for a moment or two, feel free. And then we're just going to lower down. And then we're going to do a twist starting from our navel. It's a really nice deep twist. So you're going to pull your right knee up along your mat. Nice. And then just lift your right elbow and thread your left arm through over towards the right knee. Good. And then start to roll your way open, opening your spine. And if you want to cushion underneath your right knee, go for it. Just spiraling open, gazing over the right shoulder. This was the poem I was looking for. This is my favorite poem of hers. You've probably heard it before. I want to apologize to all the women. I have called pretty. Before I've called them intelligent or brave. I'm sorry I made it sound as though something as simple as what you're born with is the most you have to be proud of when your spirit has crushed mountains. From now on, I will say things like, you are resilient or you are extraordinary. Not because I don't think you're pretty, but because you are so much more than that. Remaining in this twist for one more minute. And then can you slowly unwind, letting your whole body come into neutral. Resting your arms and resting a cheek. And then we'll go the opposite way. So coming up. And then just pulling your left knee up across the mat. Threading your right arm under. And then just unraveling all the way around. Maybe putting a cushion underneath the knee. I love this twist because it's very much like a simple twist, but you're just entering it from a different way. And it shows how sometimes just changing your perspective on things can bring about a new experience. My heart aches for sisters more than anything. It aches for women helping women. Like flowers ache for spring. We all move forward when we recognize how resilient and striking the women around us are. And the last poem I'll read, it's not necessarily a feminist one, but it's one of my favorites. Most importantly, love. Like it's the only thing you know how. At the end of the day, all of this means nothing. This page, where you're sitting, your degree, your job, the money, nothing even matters except love and human connection. Who you loved, how deeply you love them, how you touched the people around you, and how much you gave them. Take another breath. And then to come out of this, we're just gonna slowly unwind and roll onto the spine. And if there's any last stretches or poses that would finish your practice well, go for it. Eventually stretching your way out into a final resting pose or coming into a meditation just for the last few minutes. We'll say 5 or so minutes. And know that I'm going to bring you back when the time is up. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My powers turn on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. I've still got a lot of fire left in me. Give your fingers and toes a little wake up wiggle, stretching through the body. If you are not yet up in your seated position, you can just make your way there. Gathering your palms at heart center. Closing with our intention. And it's that our practice remain a constant. And that it has a positive ripple effect of change through the world, impacting us, but not only us, spreading to all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe and happy and healthy and free. May the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So finishing with an Om, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing this space and the practice. I'm so grateful for each one of you. Light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.